Hey, welcome back to YT Finance, and today we are talking about if Workhorse loses the USPS contract and what are the pros and cons of Workhorse stock overall. Subscribe if you are new. If you are already subscribed, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed, and comment down below your thoughts on Workhorse. In today's video, I will be talking about the WKHS stock, the United States Postal Service contract, why Workhorse stock is trading lower today, and I will be bringing up both bull and bear points in this commentary. I have found a fair Workhorse article that tells us the pros and cons of owning Workhorse stock and what will happen if Workhorse wins or loses the United States Postal Service contract. All things considered, Workhorse as a company and Workhorse stock has had a great year, but this does not show us the whole story. Remember, as soon as March 17th, 2020, WKHS stock was around $1.32, which means that if you invested $1,000 in Workhorse stock back then, you would have around $20,000 right now. To explain this phenomenon, George Crabtree, who is a director in energy storage research, says this: electric vehicles are a step in the emerging transformation of transportation, from exclusive reliance on personal car ownership to alternative modes of transportation, such as shared rides and mobility as a service. Basically, electric vehicle companies like Workhorse are an emerging market that will transform how we as consumers will use transportation in the near future. Recently, Jim Cramer, who is a CNBC host, says that investors are just looking for the next Tesla in the electric vehicle space, and some think that Workhorse Group is a very promising bet. Later in this Workhorse stock article, we will be discussing catalysts that are affecting WKHS share prices and why I warned you all that a pullback was coming for Workhorse, which is what we are seeing in the market right now. I want to qualify that statement by saying it's not just Workhorse stocks that are pulling back. The whole market is trending down right now, which is a good sign for the long run. The market will bounce back. Crabtree goes on to state that electric vehicles are poised to transform nearly every aspect of transportation, including fuel, carbon emissions, costs, repairs, and driving habits. The questions are not if, but how far electrification will go. Now, Workhorse will not be the next Tesla because they are going down slightly different paths. Tesla works with EV batteries and technological innovation, while Workhorse specializes and specifies in the last mile delivery sector, which has the potential to earn Workhorse Group $18 billion in yearly revenue. Tesla is also outperforming Workhorse in revenue because last quarter, Workhorse only made $92,000 in revenue, but had a net loss of $131 million. As we all know, Workhorse's biggest catalyst is the USPS contract, which is worth around $6 billion. I read the quotes and watched the videos of people saying it's worth $8 billion because of inflation, but that is slightly misleading, although they are right. The worth is $8 billion, but the actual money that will be exchanged will be around $6 billion in physical dollars. And sometimes inflation works the opposite way, which means in the future it should be worth less than it is right now. I could make a whole video explaining inflation and the Fed's definition of inflation, but let's stick with talking about Workhorse stock right now. I know what I just said is going to be taken out of context, but just take it at face value and we can move on. Another promising sign for Workhorse is their 10% equity stake in Lordstown Motors, who is using GM's old Lordstown factory to build electric trucks using Workhorse's proprietary patented technology. Currently, Lordstown Motors is performing a reverse merger with a special purpose acquisition company named Diamond Peak Holdings, ticker symbol DPHC, just like Nikola did, which was successful in the short term. And once Lordstown Motors goes public through the SPAC, their ticker symbol will be RIDE instead of DPHC. Combining the catalysts from the USPS contract and Workhorse's 10% stake in Lordstown Motors together, it's hyping up the Workhorse stock very high, but the company just does not have good financials right now, which I've been telling you all is a big con. The price-shares ratio is over 11,000, which is not a good sign. If you put the market capitalization over the annual sales or divide per share stock price over per share revenue, it's scary. A good PSR is 1 or 2, while Workhorse stock and Workhorse as a company has 11,000, which is very bad. It's super high risk. This means that Workhorse stock is overpriced and people started to take profits, which caused WKHS stock to decline very rapidly. If we take a look at Workhorse's beta ratio, it's no better, coming in over 2.8. Essentially, a beta ratio under 1 means that the asset is less volatile than the overall market. If the beta is over 1, then the security is more volatile than the market, meaning if the market drops, which it's currently dropping, then Workhorse drops even harder and faster. Workhorse is a risky stock, especially after the catalysts pass. Buying Workhorse around $20 might be suitable for long-term holders, while short sellers are just waiting for the USPS contract winner to be announced. Workhorse is not yet an established electric vehicle firm quite yet. Most of its money is being generated from people speculating on Workhorse winning the United States Postal Service contract. If you are invested in Workhorse like myself, make sure you have a plan and buckle up for the very volatile ride ahead. Depending on how you view Workhorse's ability to innovate and land more contracts with dealers such as Walmart and Amazon, that should determine if you should hold long-term or sell some or all of your Workhorse shares right after the USPS contract. If you don't want to directly hold Workhorse shares, you can purchase ETFs like HAIL, PBW, ARKQ, and BlackRock ETFs, which have Workhorse shares already in them, which will lower your overall risk but give you some reward. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next YT video.